80 pitches in three is a huge workload for a young man. We just didn't want to push. We didn't want to push it. You're borderline getting into dangerous situations when you get that type of workload in 3 innings. That's a lot of pitches.
Speaking of a young man, what did you see from his body language there in the third?
It just started to get a little frustrated, I think. He I think he felt like he was fighting his command. He was just missing, and then he'd throw the next pitch, and it would catch too much of the plate, and they were hitting it. I just think a little general frustration.
Do you think that same sort of frustration was what contributed to Escobar in the last at-bat arguing the call, or can you state to what your vantage point of that was?
Well, I mean, it was questionable if he went or not, and all he was the umpire called him out real quick, and his argument was just check. He said that he felt he saw it good enough to call it.
How did you feel about the quality of the bats today?
I thought they were better. I think we tripled our output over last night, hitting-wise. We scored in 2 innings, hit a home run. It was better.
What do you think is holding back, if something is holding back Yordano from becoming a guy who you know what you're going to get every 5 days?
Well, again, he's 24 years old. He's got a lot of weight on his shoulders of being the number one guy. He needs to kind of let that go a little bit and get back to being himself and focusing on command. I mean, you can look at the stark difference today in Wandy Rodriguez's stuff and Yordano Ventura's stuff. I mean, Wandy was throwing it up there at 88, 89 miles an hour. Ventura was throwing it up there at 98, 99 miles an hour. The difference between the two, and the reason that Wandy won today, is because Wandy works down and he works on the corners. He changes speeds with a changeup and a breaking ball. Now, Ventura has the capability of doing that. And when he does that, he's unhittable. But today, it was just fastballs that were up in the zone that would catch too much of the plate, and that's a good hitting group over there. They're not going to miss those pitches, and it doesn't matter if it's 98. You get a curveball up, they're going to hit it. You get a fastball up, they're going to hit it. So it's just, to continue to develop, to understand that with power stuff, you still have to be able to locate and execute your pitches. Because if you think you're going to just go out there and rear back and fire it, which he does, I'm not saying he does think that. But if you think that's going to happen, it's not going to happen.
And if you're not repeating your mechanics, that's what's going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you get frustrated, and then you start to overthrow a little bit, which in turns makes your mechanics break down even further. So it's all, it's just a total package of, controlling your emotions, staying within your delivery, and executing your pitches.
The idea of the weight on his shoulders, is there anything that you or the staff or his teammates can do for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, everybody, sometimes those weights are self-imposed, where you start the year off as a number one starter, you come off a great postseason, and you think that you just got to carry the load. Well, you don't. You just got to be yourself. That's it, because yourself is really, really good. And just do what you do best. Just keep it simple. Don't try to be, the quote-unquote, stopper or number. Just be yourself. And then sometimes that's a learning process too. So he's had a lot of lessons to learn this year, and he's holding his own.
Yordano's had rough few innings before the season, but he's bounced back to maybe 7 or so. Did you see could you not see, or what was it about his first 2 innings that made you kind of know that the command wasn't going to be there today?
Well, I didn't know. 30 pitch first inning, you're thinking, okay, come in and regroup. And then went back out the second inning and didn't regroup in the third. I mean, some days are like, that's the beauty of baseball. You never know, just because he's gone out and struggled in 1 inning the last 5 times and then got his pitch count back and got us a 7 doesn't mean it's going to happen today. It's baseball's different. It's a great sport because you never know what the heck you're going to get from day to day. And I mean, you look at Guthrie's outing in New York where he gives up 11 runs in an inning and then comes back his next start and really, gives up 1 hit in 6 innings. He was fantastic. You just never know from day to day what's going to happen.
What did you like about Blanton today? When you were describing Wandy, it sounded kind of like.
What I liked out of Blanton And I'm glad you asked that, Lee, because that was, for me, one of the highlights of our day. For Joe Blanton to come in on his third day in a row and pick our team up like he did and save Wade Davis, save Hawley from having to come in that game, save Matson from having to come in that game, was phenomenal. He was banging strikes, he was moving the ball around, and he was changing speeds. He was on the attack with all this stuff. Again, like Wandy, he was keeping the ball down. He was really concentrating and doing a really good job of hitting the corners. And he had quick at bats with some of those guys. He just came in on the attack and banging strikes. But for him coming in third day in a row and doing what he did was huge for us today.
Morales too, right?
Morales too, yeah, Morales too. We did not really want to bring Morales into this game today, but we wanted to try to keep the score there because if we felt we could get to the bullpen, maybe we could, something might happen. We could score some runs. We ended up getting within 2, but Morales did another great job today too against those tough lefties. Anytime you're going 3 days in a row, man, that's a great job.